Everything you've been taught about love is backwards. You've been told love is a feeling you fall into, find, or lose. You've been taught to chase the butterflies, follow your heart, and wait for the magic to strike. But here's the truth that will completely transform how you approach every relationship for the rest of your life. Love isn't something that happens to you. Love is something you do. I'm about to show you what love actually is according to neuroscience, psychology, and the simple reality that nobody wants to tell you because it's not romantic enough for movies. By the end of this video, you'll never see love the same way again. Let's start with what your brain is doing when you think you're in love. Your ventral tegmental area, the reward center in your brain, floods with dopamine, the same chemical that fires when you use cocaine or win money. Research shows that looking at photos of someone you're romantically attracted to activates the same reward circuits as addictive substances. That euphoria you call love, it's a dopamine addiction. When you fall in love, dopamine levels surge, creating euphoria similar to effects of addictive substances like cocaine. Your brain is literally getting high on this person's existence. That's not love, that's chemistry. Then oxytocin joins the party. Released during sex and heightened by skin-to-skin contact, oxytocin deepens feelings of attachment and makes couples feel closer. This is the bonding hormone that makes you want to stay close to someone. It's the same chemical that bonds mothers to babies. Add in some vasopressin for long-term commitment behaviors, throw in elevated cortisol, creating that anxious, obsessive focus on the person, and you've got what society calls falling in love. Subjects in love show higher levels of cortisol, representing stress response to change, characterizing early relationship phases. But here's the mind-blowing part. This chemical cocktail lasts about 12 to 24 months maximum. Then it fades. The dopamine decreases. The obsessive focus dissipates. The butterflies fly away. And most people think this means they've fallen out of love. They haven't. They've just sobered up from the chemical high. And now the real question begins. What is love when the drugs wear off? This is where everything you've been taught fails you. Because we've defined love as a feeling when it's actually a practice. We've made love a noun when it's really a verb. Real love is what happens after the chemistry fades. It's the conscious daily choice to act in someone's best interest, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up when you're tired. It's staying patient when you're frustrated. It's choosing their well-being when it conflicts with your convenience. Love is what you do when the dopamine isn't doing it for you anymore. Let me show you what I mean. When your partner is sick and needs care, there's no dopamine reward for cleaning up vomit or making soup at 3 a.m. That's love. When you bite your tongue during an argument to prevent saying something hurtful, there's no chemical high from that restraint. That's love. When you celebrate their success, even though you're struggling, when you listen to them talk about something you don't care about because they care about it, when you adjust your plans because they need you, none of this activates reward circuits. This is love without the drugs. Neuroscience reveals that oxytocin and vasopressin pathways, coupled with dopaminergic reward systems, contribute to formation and maintenance of maternal and passionate love. But here's what they don't tell you. Long-term, happily married individuals show neural activation in same dopamine-rich reward regions as early-stage love, but also in regions associated with attachment. This means real long-lasting love isn't the absence of chemistry, it's the integration of attachment behaviors with conscious choice. It's training your brain to find reward in the practice of loving rather than just the feeling of being in love. Think about this. You can feel intense chemistry with someone who's terrible for you. Your brain doesn't know the difference between healthy and toxic. It just knows dopamine is dopamine. That's why people get addicted to relationships that destroy them. They're chasing the chemical high while ignoring behavioral reality. Real love requires your prefrontal cortex, not just your limbic system. It requires the part of your brain that makes conscious decisions, sets long-term goals, and overrides impulses. Love is your higher brain choosing behaviors that serve the relationship even when your primitive brain wants immediate gratification. Here's the perspective shift that changes everything. Stop asking, am I in love? Start asking, am I practicing love? Because being in love is passive. It's something that happens to you through brain chemistry you don't control. Practicing love is active. It's something you choose through behaviors you absolutely control. You don't fall into love, you build it, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action, day after day. The feeling follows the practice, not the other way around. This is why arranged marriages in cultures that practice them often report higher satisfaction over time than romantic marriages in Western culture. Not because arranged marriages are superior, but because they start with the understanding that love is something you build through commitment and actions, not something you find through feelings and chemistry. They don't wait to feel love before practicing it. They practice it until the feeling develops. And neuroscience backs this up. Sexual activity can increase oxytocin levels and activate the brain's reward circuit, making couples desire each other more, potentially bringing them back to earlier exhilarating days. You can literally create the feeling by doing the actions. The chemistry follows the behavior. Here's what this means practically. That relationship where you fell out of love, you didn't fall out. You stopped practicing. You stopped doing the small daily actions that create bonding. You waited to feel like being loving instead of being loving until you felt it. That person you have no chemistry with but who treats you incredibly well, chemistry can be built through consistent loving actions over time. Bonding implicates bottom-up processes where bonding-related brain and neuroendocrine systems are activated by attachment-related behavior. You don't need to start with fireworks. You need to start with commitment to the practice. And that person you have amazing chemistry with but who treats you terribly, that chemistry is just your brain getting high. It's not love. It's addiction with a person instead of a substance. This reframing changes everything about how you choose partners. You stop chasing the feeling and start evaluating the person. Can they practice love even when they don't feel like it? Do they show up consistently? Do they choose your well-being? Do they do the work when the chemistry isn't carrying them? Because here's the brutal truth. Everyone can love you when dopamine is flowing. The test of real love is whether they love you when it's not. This is why love at first sight is neurologically impossible. What you're experiencing is attraction at first sight, lust at first sight, chemical reaction at first sight. But love requires time, behavior patterns, and conscious choice repeated over time. You cannot love someone you just met because love is a practice that takes time to develop. You can be attracted to them. You can feel chemistry, but you cannot love them yet because you haven't had the opportunity to practice loving them through challenges, disappointments, and the mundane reality of daily life. Real love is boring in the best possible way. It's making coffee how they like it. It's remembering what they told you last week. It's doing the dishes without being asked. It's asking about their day and actually listening. It's choosing them when they're not at their best. None of this is exciting. None of this makes good movies, but all of it makes good lives. Here's your new framework for love. The feeling is the byproduct, not the prerequisite. The chemistry is the reward for the practice, not the foundation for the relationship. The butterflies are the dessert, not the meal. Love is a skill you develop through repetition. Like playing piano or learning a language, you get better at loving through practice. Some people are naturally better at it because they learned it in childhood from parents who practiced it well. Others have to learn it consciously as adults because they never saw it modeled. But everyone can learn it. Because love isn't a feeling you're born with or without. It's a behavior pattern you develop through conscious, consistent choice. This means you're not helplessly subject to falling in and out of love. You have agency. You can choose to practice love with someone who practices it back. You can build something real instead of chasing something chemical. And when the initial dopamine rush fades, instead of thinking you've fallen out of love, you can recognize you're graduating into real love, the kind that actually lasts, the kind that's built on behavior, not brain chemistry. So stop waiting to feel love before acting loving. Start acting loving and watch the feeling follow. Stop looking for someone who makes you feel love. Start looking for someone who practices love consistently. Stop thinking love is something that happens to you. Start understanding love is something you do. This perspective shift will save you from wasting years chasing chemistry with incompatible people. It will help you build something real with someone compatible. It will make you someone worth loving because you'll understand what love actually requires. Subscribe for more content that replaces romantic myths with actual truth. Tell me in the comments whether this changed how you see love. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Love isn't a feeling you fall into. It's a choice you make repeatedly. It's not what you feel, it's what you do. And that changes absolutely everything.